Well, Samid, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with me.
Anytime. It was super last minute, but okay.
Well, I kind of, it's a surprise for everybody. So,
That's fair, yeah.
yeah, because, it's not something to prepare for. It's to get their reactions and thoughts about.
Right.
So,
I understand, yeah.
so I know we just talked about NASA's plans to land people on the moon in 2024. Had you heard this before?
Well, okay, I'll be honest with you. I haven't. The closest I've heard is like Elon Musk, like his plan with SpaceX trying to get civilizations on Mars, basically.
Okay.
I don't know if it's something similar to that. Honestly, like I'm just going off of what I heard like before, basically. Is SpaceX doing this or is like just a NASA project?
Oh, well, NASA is going to be using SpaceX to deliver equipment and supplies to
That
the
makes
moon.
sense.
And actually, SpaceX, there's a Japanese billionaire who's paid SpaceX to fly him and a group of like 7 to 9 artists around the moon in 2023.
That's amazing.
It's called the Der Moon Project.
Their moon project.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's pretty inspirational. I think if they pull that off, then they will definitely play a bigger part in getting people to the moon. Because people will be like, well, you already got them around the moon. Now you just have to get them down to the surface. You could do that.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Mars thing. Oh, what do you think about space exploration? Is it something that excites you, or not interested, or like what? Or against it? I've kind of.
Well, I'm kind of coming in for this from an environmental perspective because like I go to UT Austin, I'm doing more like geographic information systems, which is like mapping, environmental analysis. Obviously, there's a whole aspects of climate change, global warming that's happening right now, basically. And of course, like NASA and SpaceX are trying to be like having to say like, wait, if we hypothetically run out of resources on Earth, the moon could be another alternative. I think space exploration just sounds amazing in general. Like, space exploration has been something like ever since we first walked on the moon back in, I'm really bad at dates, 1960, 1970?
And 1969 was the first time.
1969.
1972 was the last time.
972, okay, there we go. I'm really bad at dates, I apologize.
No worries.
From then on, basically, it's like we've walked on the moon. Why don't we take it further? Basically, space exploration sounds just amazing. Like I think like I remember seeing like a bunch of like school projects basically about like if you could take like a week vacation on the moon. And that's like something like a child would think. You're a kid. You're like, oh yeah, going to the moon sounds amazing. And like we're coming to 2024, and it's actually just becoming a reality basically. So I think that's really cool. It's definitely gonna be a lot of hard work, honestly, but can you just imagine just like telling your relatives basically like at dinner table like, oh yeah, I went to Venice, I went to Greece. You could just be like, oh, I went to the moon for a holiday. So that would just be a really like amazing idea, honestly. I think also something else that could be pretty cool just to consider as well is just like if we actually do have this space exploration on the moon happen in 2024, you could just imagine like where we can go from there basically. Like obviously SpaceX with Mars, next up it could be Mars, for example. And next up it could be like, trading of resources from the moon and Earth. Like there's just so many possibilities that come with it. So, if we have the technology and resources, might as well do it basically.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, what are some benefits that you think we'll get out of exploring the moon that would help us on Earth?
That's a very good question. Like, obviously, coming from an environmental perspective, like, there's the risk of global warming, climate change, the depletion of resources. I believe, like, space exploration on the moon could provide, like, I'm sure there's definitely a really amazing, like, people have already, like, made scientific articles about, like, amazing resources on moon that can be transported on Earth, obviously, so I think that'll be really good. I think as well, like, this is a tough question, actually. It's just like, it's an idea like, people, like, it's like one of those ideas where you just say to someone like, hey, imagine like traveling on the moon, basically, like having the opportunity to go from Earth to the moon, just like, you don't have to be trained or anything. You just like go from the Earth to the moon. Like that itself is just an amazing idea in general. Talked about the bragging rights to your family as well, telling your family like, hey, I went to the moon, basically. There's obviously like a wide variety of obviously I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the most knowledgeable about space exploration basically, but just the idea itself, if you just tell someone, like just go up to someone randomly on the street like, hey, how would you like the idea about like us traveling to the moon by the year 2024? People will just be like, yeah, that'd just be amazing, honestly. If it could actually happen, that'd be amazing. Even if you don't know that much about space exploration, I feel the idea itself is just enough for people to get excited about, honestly.
And that's pretty neat to hear. Yeah, I plan to confirm your thoughts on that by asking 1,828 more people between now and then, 2024, what they think. So, well, any last words you think be good to share?
All I could say is if you happen to see Mr. Nathan Price, doing this interview, definitely take part in it. Definitely well worth it. When 2024 comes, you'll definitely look back on this with excitement, honestly. And yeah, by the time you see this video, hopefully you'll be seeing this video on the moon actually in 2024. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime.